Hello everyone, I'm Reena Augustine and you're watching Brisbane Talk Show with Dr. Noel. Talking about youth leadership. Welcome, Doctor. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
What an amazing task, the things that you do for people, with your journey, your experience, and today we're going to talk about youth leadership. Before you came in here, we had a chat on a book that you're reading right now. So what book are you reading exactly?
This is a beautiful story for young people of the school age. But this one book has fascinated me for long, even today. I love to read this book at least 5-10 times every year. It is so fascinating because it talks about something very unique of an individual. Because we are all believing in a crowd mentality or a herd concept in life. We'd like to be a family together, friends together, society together. But that is not the way to grow in life. You need to isolate yourself and individualize yourself. Because ultimately, your success depending upon what you are worth.
What age did you start reading this book?
This I used to read when I was just out of the college, when I was 20.
Okay, it's been around for a long time.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. And every time I address youth and training programs, this is my favorite book. Because this talks about flying high.
One thing that actually mesmerized me was when last year in December 2019, right? And I think 20 students from the James Cook University went to your event.
Yes.
Every single of them said that how amazing you are. And you actually stood as an example for all of them. So how can you compare that of what you educated the youngsters with this book?
When I see a group of people, I look into everyone as an individual. I don't look as a group. So my message will always penetrate into the individual hearts. The reason being, a crowd has never achieved anything in life. My example and the focus is always Gandhiji. A single man, isolated himself. What a power he brought in. It's just because of his discipline and commitment to the country. So I always believed in an individual dynamics in everyone's life. Mm-hmm. So when I address the young people, I always tell them, see, I'm an individual. And I believe in myself. I believe in my God, which is in myself. Which really means the more I look into myself and assess my potential and give a strength to my potential, I keep on growing. When I copy somebody, I lose my personality. So I always try to avoid copying anybody. I personally feel imitation is suicide.
So, why do people do that? Why do people copy others?
That's easy way.
Okay.
You can always, copying is always easy. It's a Xerox. Just put it and you get a copy.
That's correct, yeah. So better to...
But originality is always power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the meaning behind the Jonathan Livingston's book, what exactly is the meaning behind it?
The meaning behind is how can you come out of your conventional life? The story is something very simply, the story is the seagull, which is a seabird, which always sits around the sea bank of the rivers and the seashore, mm-hmm. and waiting for the people to come with a load of fishes. So they just jump into the boat, take a little bit of food, and then they run away and then eat and then they leave. So most of the seagulls have adopted this as a habit for their life. So they have no reason for them to fly, even though they have the wings. So if at all they fly about 5 to 10 feet just above the sea, right? Pick up the fish, come to the shore, eat, sleep, and live. That's it. But this particular one bird called the seagull, which is Jonathan Livingston, that's the name the author has given to that beautiful bird.
Wow.
Jonathan Livingston. This bird thought, is this the life? Just going to the sea, picking up the food, eating and sleeping. What is this life? I'm fed up of this type of life. So I should not follow the crowd. So in order to take the decision, what it does, he forgoes one night meal. He said, let me not eat tonight and let me think what I should do. So when he isolated himself and not eating, his mind starts working differently because the hunger is forcing him, but then the thought is pushing him out of that. And he realizes that this type of a conventional life of eating and sleeping, I think I am definitely not for it. I should do something differently. So he thinks about it. He doesn't know what to do because no one has shown him how to do differently. So the morning comes, all the other birds are watching him, and they go and ask him, why you did not eat? He said, I'm thinking. What are you thinking? That is not our job. We are here to eat and sleep. What are you thinking? Then he got really offended. Yes, you do not know what he's thinking, but I am thinking. I wanted to do something differently. I really do not know what. So one more day has passed with the hunger and thirst. At the end of the evening, he realizes, I think there are also certain birds which are flying high. But our group do not know how to fly. So why can't I practice the leaders who are flying? So next day he determines, okay, tomorrow morning I am going to fly. He takes that one decision after 24 hours. I must fly. So when he tries to fly on the next day morning, he is not able to fly because his feathers are not adapted for flying. Because they have been just conventional. There are feathers, there are wings, but it does not know how to really fly high.
Never practiced.
He never practiced. Secondly, when we see the sea, he got frightened. Oh, what a big sea. Suppose I fly and I drop down, my life is out. So I'm not adopted. And then I didn't eat also, so I'm not strong enough. So how can I fly?
The fear got him.
The fear got him. But then when he comes back, he thinks, oh, if I succumb to all this, I will never be different. So let me still try. It doesn't matter whether I have eaten, whether I have slept, whether I have lived in this place for long. Let me try. So he tries on the very first day from 10 feet to 20 feet. But the 10 feet to 20 feet when he flies, the wings are all paining because they were not adopted. So the pain is on the wings. But he overcomes the pain. Okay, this pain has not taken my life. So the pain will be there if I fly high. So then he practices again with the pain. It goes 20 to 30, 30 to 40. He practices every day. In 1 week's time, he was able to fly at the speed of 200 miles per hour.
Wow.
200 miles. Then he realizes, oh, where was all these talents hidden? Such a power I am having, but I never knew. So good thing I came out of the crowd and started practicing what I really wanted to do. And see now how I'm enjoying. I'm flying high and high, competing with eagles and competing with the biggest birds. So that gave him that motivation. Yes, life is worth if I do something differently and if I look up high and do something great for my life.
Wow, that can be related to every single youngster right now, isn't it?
Exactly.
We all are scared to get out.
Yes.
We are so scared that we don't want to go to any other new environment. The fear of falling, the fear of failing, and if we don't practice, we cannot do anything.
Yes.
Or get a simple example. So many people who want to work out, but they are scared. They're scared of habits. The habits they have actually gained through this. Oh my God, that's really, really. So what is the meaning of life as defined by the seagull?
The seagull defines life has a purpose. Life is not just life. It has a purpose. And life has to be evolved. We are all for evolving. So the evolution theory comes out of evolving from the birth to the death. You have to grow to a dimension which is much, much, much bigger than your birth. So the whole life is for growth. If you don't understand that fundamental concept in life, and if you are stagnant in life, you are dying.
Absolutely.
You are not living. You are not growing. So the evolution is the concept of the growth.
Yeah.
And everyone should think that yes, it is inside, it is built into our system. Evolution is built into our system. We all have grown in so many ways, technologically, and then naturally in all walks of life. There has been tremendous growth. From where the growth comes in? So someone takes that steps, like Columbus and various other scientists and various great people in the world. They all have shown, yes, there is a different way of doing.
Mahatma Gandhi.
And all the great people have demonstrated, yes, there is a pathway for growth. And it is a hard way, but it is worth.
It is absolutely worth. Wow. So it says that there are times that there is a price that we have to pay for misunderstanding. The price the bird paid of being misunderstood. So if you can explain that.
Yes. The moment you try to become different, your society discards you.
Wow.
So this bird was ostracized from the community. They said, we are all here for going to the sea, coming back, eating and sleeping. You want to be different. That means you are not our bird. You are not our community. So get out of us. We are not going to take you in. You get lost.
Discarded from its own
that
community.
Was the message given. So then the seagull, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, he said, that's okay for me. It's okay for me. Perfect. If you don't take me in, and if you don't understand why I am doing this, what is the purpose in life, I'm not bothered about you people. So you be all together, but let me be different. So in spite of ostracizing from the community to an individual life, he feels very proud that he has taken a good decision of doing something on his own to fulfill the life's purpose.
Didn't give up.
Didn't give up. No way. So that makes life different. That makes an individual different.
Yeah.
So in our life, we will come across similar situation in so many ways. Parents will not appreciate you. Your friends will not. Your teacher will not encourage you. All these obstacles will come as a challenge to you. But you as an individual should think, what should I do? How should I grow? Who should be my model? So when you start looking into this, all these opportunities will flash across you. And you will catch up those beautiful opportunities and walk through. Because the best places are always reserved for those who are trying. The man who wins is always the man who tries.
And never gives up.
Never gives up.
Talking about Jonathan Livingston, I love the name.
It's okay.
So what is different about him as compared to all the other seagulls?
The difference is his mental makeup. Right? Everyone, the same wings, the same stature, all bodily they are the same. But the distinction comes not from the body. The distinction comes from the mind. So every human being is made up of three components: the body, mind, and soul.
Yeah.
Right? So we give so much of importance to the body, right? Which is food, sex, and all those bodily functions.
Yeah.
Sleep. Yes, we enjoy sleep. We enjoy very good food, right? We enjoy beautiful makeup, beautiful dresses. All these are body function. But this body belongs to the earth. It goes to the earth. It has no relevance to the future after death. Yeah. But the mind, which can expand, right, guides you very differently. So if you do not spend more time in developing your mind, you cannot think. Because the human being, the speciality of a human being is he is a thinking man.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to think and develop yourself, you are as good as an animal. So thinking process is very important.
Mindset.
Yeah, that's what Descartes is, the philosopher says, I am, therefore I am. So it is always a thinking man is the man.
Yeah.
Right? Beyond this thinking, there is a power called the soul power, which drives you, which is an ambitious power. Aspirations and ambitions all comes from your heart. So you need to be passionately involved in whatever you wanted to do. Many people have wistful thinking. Right? They dream, they think, but they don't do. They don't put into action. When you don't put into action, your dreams have no relevance. It disappears, vanishes like a vapor. But the moment you put a concrete step to your thinking and to your dreaming, then the action results very differently. So you grow big because you have put the dreams and the visions and everything into an action platform. So that is where the people become different.
But Dr. Noel, positivity, being always positive is very hard at the moment. The reason, we are surrounded by negativity. Am I right? There are people, so how do we avoid it? How do we ignore the people who are actually negative? I'm reading this book called Magic of Thinking Big, and it says that you have to get out of the shell and do something different, as Jonathan Livingston is doing. So, but there are negative people out there. So how can we overcome it? What is the one thing that every youth should do?
See, negative thinking is a habit.
It is, isn't it?
It is just a habit.
Yeah.
Because you have allowed that negative thing to seep into your mind and you have accepted the negative thinking. Right? But we are all made up of a positive frame of mind. We are positive. We are not for negative.
Yeah.
So negativity is a destruction. And if you have fed your mind with the negative thoughts, nobody can be blamed for it. You have allowed that to enter. And you opened the door, you allowed it to come in, and you have nurtured the thoughts and you become a negative person. But the moment you reject that negativism, right? I am not for negative frame of mind. I am for positive. I am for winning. I am for doing good. I am for the best. The whole life will change. That's how all the achievers in the world are all with a positive mind. So unless you have the positive mind frame or positive mental attitude, they call it PMA, positive mental attitude.
Yes.
It is not possible for you to overcome your negative thinking. Many people practice the positive mental attitude by practicing certain virtues, certain good habits. One of them is reading good books. The second one is joining with the right group of people or meeting the right sets of people. They don't entertain people who are discouraging, who are negative-minded. When you join with negative-minded people, you become a negative-minded person.
Absolutely.
Right? So it is your opportunity either to join with them or to reject them or not to join with them. So the people who have achieved great things in life, they are always surrounded by the positive-minded people.
You are known by the company you
Absolutely,
keep.
Yes, you're right.
Birds of feather flock together.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely right.
Yes.
Absolutely right. So your mindset, delete the negativity around you, and you shouldn't feed the negativity.
Absolutely right.
Excellent. Oh my God. So what was Seagull afraid of?
The seagull was initially afraid of the environment, the seniors, the parents, the friends, and his own weakness in terms of the physical strength.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's going to be his first experience. So always, people are afraid to try the first levels of experience.
Yeah.
Yes, we are afraid, we are scared. But then, just round the corner, something else is waiting. Mm-hmm. So you need to explore that possibility. So the life is always full of possibilities. And for you to experience the possibilities, you need to try. If you don't try, you wouldn't know who you are, what is your capability, what are your buried talents in you. Right? Everything is just buried. You need to try to bring that out.
You have to take that first step.
You need to take that first step. It's very, very important. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that means making a decision.
Yes.
Very hard.
Excellent.
Very hard to make a decision.
Absolutely.
So how can people choose to make a decision? What can make it easy?
Yes. This is where your social responsibility comes in. Right? Many people, they don't aspire to grow bigger. The reason being, they would like to lead a normal life. But the life legacy is what have you left behind you when you die? That's a legacy. You are given a frame of life, a set of life, right, over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Within this period, what have you done? What have you contributed? What have you left for? So this is what the generation will talk about it. So in order to achieve that, you need to have a goal in life. What is the goal? So it can be a personal goal, it can be a social goal, it can be a spiritual goal, but the goal must be fixed. If you don't have a goal post in your life, you will not go towards a destination. You will go haywire.
Correct.
Right? You will miss the track because you don't have a destination. You don't have purpose in life. So first fix up a goal, what you want to become. That's why when you try to get into a college, the parents, the teacher, what would you like to do? I would like to become a doctor or an engineer. So your 5-year is fixed based upon your decision.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So the environment, the nature always gives you an opportunity to think goal setting in life. Then after the university education is over, then you think, okay, who should be my girlfriend? Who should be my wife? Who should be my family? So, okay, then everything goes on well, then you get married. Then after, okay, when can we have a child? So, life is always made up of a goal setting.
Yes,
but
correct.
what sort of a goal setting you make is always, your choice.
Yeah.
Right? The bigger the goal, the greater the efforts and the greater the achievement.
Oh, wow.
So set your goals high, so you will always grow high. Nothing can limit you. So we are all afraid of limitations.
Yes, we
Throw
are.
away the limitations, you will grow. Abundantly you will grow. And you wouldn't know what area you will grow and how big you will grow. You can hit the sky, you can hit the moon, you can hit the Mars, anything you can. And the world has already showcased it is possible. I was amazed to see a young little boy who is now in Chennai, India. He just plays the piano. He wanted to sing a song in the moon.
Oh, wow.
He's just about 14-year-old boy. He has won the American Talent Award, $1 million. And he says, I would like to play sonato in the moon.
14-year-old.
14-year-old
What an
boy.
amazing goal.
Yeah.
Who would have thought at that age?
And how he sets the goal. Who sets him? So this is where the spirituality comes in. The inspiration comes always from within.
Yeah.
So you are not what you are today. You belong to certain ages, certain generations. So there is an inbuilt power resting in you, right? So if you give attention to that, it will explode very differently, right? So this is how Abraham Lincoln and all others, they were able to showcase to the world what they wanted to do differently, right? So the life experiences will mostly guide you. But many people ignore the experiences. It is as part of the life, but it is not part of the life. Everyone will have very, very unique individual experiences. Those experiences are for him to take a cue, a lesson from that experience. So if you sit and think, why these experiences come only to me? Why not to others?
Yeah.
So because it has come to me alone, I think there is something hidden behind this opportunity.
Yeah.
What is that? So when you look into that opportunity, you will find there is a pathway which is getting opened up as you keep moving. As you keep moving, the pathway gets opened up. Not sitting still and dreaming and thinking about
Action.
it. Action, exactly.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Growing up, what was your goal then?
My goal? Yes. As a businessman in India, I did a lot of work in traffic improvement areas. I have developed a couple of cities like Chennai, Madurai, Coimbatore, couple of cities where there was no way to improve. I had demonstrated to them with a will you can do differently. So I have done quite a lot of work. At that time, my personal goal was how I can contribute to the society.
Wow.
What nobody has done, how I can do that. So I met the chief ministers and politicians and business people, and almost every one of them encouraged me because my idea was always a new idea, a fresh idea, not a copy from anybody. So the new ideas were always welcome. And when you practice and become success in one area, the next area automatically evolves. So one after the other. So I have created a lot of milestone in my life in creating various opportunities for cities. But now when after coming to Australia in the last 3 years' time, my heart goes for the young people. I come across a couple of young people who are depressed, who are worried, who are not able to think through the future, who are not happy, and some of them are married and divorced. All these problems when I come across, I'm trying to find a solution.
Yeah.
Why this is happening? What are they lacking here? This is a wealthy country, right? Money is around, everything is beautiful, but why? Individual is affected, which means they do not have a sense of purpose, and they don't have a goal, and they really do not know the values in life, right? So once we try to bring that factors to them, they will have the power to discriminate. So this discretion is what makes a man isolated from the community living and then living a life of his own, right? So to do that, I've decided to write a couple of books. Now I'm releasing a book for the Chinese community called the Confucius Teachings, right? Which I'll be releasing in about a month's time. Followed by that, there's Buddha's teaching and a couple of other teachings, because these teachings are otherwise called a religion to an individual, which brings a moral value. What is right, what is wrong? What is good, what is bad? Moment you know what is good and bad, you choose.
Yeah.
If you choose good, it's good. If you choose bad, it is bad.
Yeah.
It is your choice. But you should know what is good and what is bad.
That's
Someone
right.
should tell about it.
Yeah.
So I'm planning this year at least to write about 21 books in this year.
21 books.
21 books is my goal for this year. And I've already started. My 2 books are almost getting ready. And every month I will release at least about 1 to 2 books. So at the end of the year, I would like to release at least, it will be 21 philosophies of life. So people will be able to find some answer to the problems that they may be confronting in their life.
Wow, Dr. Noel, 21 books. What an amazing goal. That is an amazing goal. So take a decision. It all depends upon the decision that you make in your life, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. Pleasure talking to you today, and also talking about Jonathan Livingston, the seagull who made a difference and showed the community that you can be different. So the message to the youth right now, what would you like to give?
I would like to introduce my very, very famous mentor and my guru is Dr. Abdul Kalam, who was the President of India. He became a President of India at my age. I am 70 now, 69 plus, I am 70. So he became President in 2002 when he was just 70 years.
Wow.
Right. From 70 to 75, he was the President. Afterwards, the life he led is an amazing life. His target was, how do I reach 10 lakhs students in my life during the period of the presidency? So during the 5-year period, instead of sitting in the Rashtrapati Bhavan or the presidential palace and then dreaming about it, doing nothing, he went to the schools and colleges, embraced all the young people, and then talked with them and inspired them. He is a one single person. I cannot compare him with anybody in the world. He is such a single man, a single individual, a single soul, which has embraced all the young boys and girls together and motivated them to become great in life. So he is a sacrifice for the youth. He never married, but all his life, 83 years where he lived, was always in the mainstream of being with the young people. And the way he inspired young people as an example before them. His young age was something unbelievable. He was selling papers in the morning.
Wow.
Distributing papers and trying to pick up some amount for the fees and supporting his family. So for the paper boy to a president of a massive country like India, he is not an ordinary pathway.
He was a visionary.
He was not only a visionary, he was also a very practical man. Lot of defeats came. He wanted to become a pilot, so he did his engineering, MIT, right? And become an aeronautical engineering in the first class, the first mark, and he appeared for an interview, and he was about to be selected, but he was not selected. 5 people were called for, only 4 vacancies, and the 5th was his name.
Oh,
so,
no.
so he was literally crying, and he was, what is this? I'm such a brilliant guy. I had so much of feeling for this post. But then he reaches another wise man, and he advises, this is life, right? If you have missed that bus, there is a better bus waiting for you.
Yeah.
Just calm down and look into the future. Then when he looked into the future, he found a completely different turning point in his life. He was the first scientist, the space scientist, who sent Agni to the space.
Oh, wow.
He was instrumental for that, right? So from a paper boy to an engineer to a scientist, and then he became the president of a country.
What an amazing story.
In this pathway, if you look into the characteristics of this man, I think he is a very, very unique personality. Hardworking, very, very focused, and ambitious, and helpful to others. So, when he died, he was addressing in a university, and on the platform, he had a massive stroke, and his legacy was, yes, I am for the students and I am with the student. So even death did not separate him from the vision that he had. So I have written a book on, after hearing his death, I felt, okay, I must do something for this great man. So I wrote this biography of Abdul Kalam, right? And on the very first anniversary, 2016, I released this book. So this talks about the significant qualities and the merits of this great man. And this may be a real inspirational book for the youths of any country.
So where the youth can buy this book? Do you have a website? Or?
Yeah, yes, there is a website called noelnetwork.com, so they can buy this.
Noelnetwork.com.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So in case if the first 21 students, if they wanted, I can give them free.
Oh wow! Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So whoever wants to really follow the principles and the directions of Dr. Abdul Kalam, I give 21 books free for 2021.
Absolutely, that's
people,
the catch.
Right?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That will be really nice, especially the youngsters nowadays. They do need a direction, and what a great exemplary man he was.
Yes.
Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was an amazing inspiration to so many people. And as you said, that when he passed away, he was among the students.
Yes. One of his famous quotes, I don't want to miss it, is what I always drawn towards, is your birth can be an ordinary birth, but your death should be a legacy.
Wow.
So you can be anybody when you are born, but don't die as you are born.
You have the power to change your life.
Be different.
Be different.
And create a legacy. And make sure, yes, this is me. Yeah. This is me. So now I am in Australia for the last 3 years. So my focus is, yes, I lived 67 years in India, 3 years in Australia. So what difference I'm going to make here? So that's why I'm here, before all of you, to showcase a difference for this country too.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for the insight. If you want to buy the book, go to noelnetwork.com.
Yes.
And the first 21 books are free for you. Dr. Noel, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rina.